Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome. Let's get right into the video. I don't want to make it too terribly long because I don't think it's a super long video to make, but I figured this video needed to be made so that everybody could get on the same page and understand what is going on. So if you wonder what I mean by that, I'm sure anybody who is here because of the Mukitty Charlie drama that's still going on. I'll call it a drama now because fuck it. It's a drama. They're going back and forth at it. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this situation. So, from what I gather from both her videos and mostly just her videos because they're the ones that I've watched. I have seen a few of Charlie's responses, but you don't really have to watch them because, in my opinion, there's not really anything to respond to. To be honest, it's more of like he did this whole video about Aiden Ross and him showing Pornhub or going to Pornhub and showing porn videos to his audience on Kick, and he merely laughed at the Fansly sponsorship that happened during the Streamer Awards. So he made this whole video about Aiden Ross and how he showed porn specifically through Pornhub on his stream, live streamed it on Kick, to his fans, to his audience, whatever you want to call them. And he didn't really do anything when Cutie Cinderella had a Fansly ad during the Streamer Awards. Now, I've done my own research on this. I've used Google, which is simply all that you really needed to do to kind of learn more about the situation. And I think the context with this whole scenario, this whole thing is key here. I don't really think Charlie had to say anything. I don't think I think that going at him is deflecting from the real person that was behind it, which I say behind it like it's a villain or something, which was, I assume, Cutie Cinderella. From, as far as I know, she was the one that was hosting the Streamer Awards. I don't actually know whether or not Twitch sponsored the Streamer Awards, so it could have been that Fansly is in partnership with Twitch, which wouldn't surprise me any. Or if that was a private sponsorship that she found or she got for Fansly or for the Streamer Awards. So she went and got Fansly because her and there's a couple of other Twitch streamers. Amaranth is one of them, I'm pretty sure. And I know this for a fact because when I was Googling earlier, when I did a previous cut of this video, which was kind of all over the place, when I pulled up Fansly, she was like the third link underneath on Google underneath Fansly. So I think context on this whole situation is what is most important. Okay, I think one, it's inappropriate that they had Fansly as a sponsored ad because, as far as I know, the Twitch stream itself wasn't age restricted, which it could have been, but the whole thing of, oh, it's gate kept behind age restriction and you have to pay for the content, I think is stupid because, let's be honest, everybody lies about their age on the internet. All those websites when we were younger that said you had to be 13 years of age or older to sign up, we just said that we were 13 and we signed up on them. We lied and lied about our age, which is completely possible and people do it all the time. And so I think that that's just like, it doesn't make sense to use that as an argument. Pornhub is free, just like every other porn site. You can easily access. You just go to Google, you type in porn websites, and you get like 3 or 4. I'm sure Pornhub will probably be the top. I don't even know what the next ones would be these days. The problem ultimately becomes that it was a sponsored ad where Aiden Ross did that of his own volition. He went to Pornhub, whether or not his stream egged him on to do it. He went and he did that and he streamed it to his audience. Now, I'll be honest, if his audience is probably about anywhere from like 15 to like 20, listen, those guys are already looking at porn. So let's look into it. I took some notes because I figured I'd write some of this information down. So one thing to remember, okay, and I bring up OnlyFans because it is synonymous with the adult content subscription service platform. OnlyFans was created in 2016, and you can easily find this out. You know how? Through the wiki. Now, Fansly doesn't have a wiki. It has a wiki data, which is just some information about the website. So it doesn't have a whole Wikipedia like OnlyFans does. But OnlyFans was created in 2016, And my belief based on, or my interpretation based on the company who owns OnlyFans back in 2020 or 2021, when they actually banned pornographic material from their website, shows me that they initially had intended for the website to be a direct competitor to Patreon. Now, obviously, it's not. It's not that. It has turned into an adult content subscription service. But Fansly was created in 2020, which is right around the time OnlyFans was kind of blowing up and becoming a big thing. And it was created, at least in my interpretation, to be a direct competitor to OnlyFans, to be the next big dog in the adult content subscription service, which is specifically what Wikidata listed as, where OnlyFans is listed as a content subscription service because there are other people that aren't posting porn on OnlyFans. They're probably musicians, artists, probably YouTube content creators, some that are out there. To be honest, you're probably using Patreon if that's what you're going for, but there are people out there that probably still use OnlyFans for what it was originally intended. But Fansly was created as an adult content subscription service. There's no way you can say, oh, well, you can post other stuff on Fansly. I don't know if Fansly is non-nude. I know for sure OnlyFans you can 100% post nudes and all that kind of stuff on there. I don't know if Fansly is, but I would assume because it's in direct competition with OnlyFans that you can post full nude. You can do full nudity on there. So, in my opinion, it's inappropriate to be advertising this during something like the Streamer Awards, which is directly tied to Twitch, which is directly tied to Amazon. I just thought I'd point that out there for talking about links. A big company owns this. One of the biggest companies in the world, I shouldn't just say a big company, one of the biggest companies in the world owns this website, and one of your advertisers is an adult content subscription service, which I'm sure Amazon doesn't give an absolute flying fuck about. But when there's potential that a large portion of your viewers could be kids, I think it's, again, inappropriate and unprofessional, especially, and I say it's unprofessional because we'll loop back to this other point that I've made in previous videos, to the deepfake AI situation, the deepfake situation that happened, specifically including Cutie Cinderella. Now, in my opinion, so what happened was a streamer named Atrioc, which I'm sorry that I have to bring. I'm sorry I have to bring his name up. Sorry I have to bring up anybody's name in this situation, but it helps to give context. Atrioc was streaming, and specifically, I looked up the dates that these happened just so I could get a timeline of things. This happened January 26, 2023. That he brought up I think it might have been either Firefox or Chrome, and one of his little tabs over here, so it had like a window. Let's imagine my window here, and it had 4 little boxes. One of them was a deepfake AI webpage specifically targeting streamers, as far as I'm aware. And this kind of sparked a whole downhill spiral, and I feel bad for him because apparently seems like he's a pretty decent guy for the most part. Had one slip up, had one oopsie, accidentally leaked this website, which in some ways can be good, because now that it's out there and people know about it, something can be done about it. So I know Cutie was like the main one talking about this, like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that, fuck him, fuck this, fuck that, whatever, screw him, using this to bolster her own viewers on the internet, whether that's Twitch or YouTube or whatever. Use this as to chase clout, to gain clout. I don't like that word. It doesn't really mean anything. Does sound pretty cool though, I'll be honest about that. Use this as a way to gain some clout, to gain some sympathy points, in my opinion. To gain sympathy from the internet, which she succeeded in. Now, I don't mean that to say she's a bad person. I'm sure anybody in her situation would feel used, which I think is one of the phrases she used. But then, on March 11th, which is the date of the Streamer Awards, which I looked this up on Google, that's when I was told. Now remember, January which is kind of thin in January. So you had February, and then you had a little bit. Well, you pretty much had a month. You had about a month worth of time to find a new sponsor, a new ad. But they chose to keep Fansly in, and in the Fansly ad that they posted during the Streamer Awards, her and I think Amaranth were one of there were 5 content bubbles that popped up. I thought that was like, oh, this is so and so's Fansly. You can go check it out. Now whether or not they actually post nude content on there, I don't know. I would assume no, but Amaranth maybe yes. I assume she probably does, or posts like bikini pics or something. So there was time to find another sponsor, but they didn't want to do that. They only feel used when they're not getting anything out of it. That's how I look at it. She only felt used because she wasn't getting anything out of it. So she used the situation to get some sympathy, to get some more viewers, to get people talking about her and the other content creators affected by this whole deepfake situation, to help bolster themselves on the internet. Mukitty is saying that it's hypocritical that Charlie doesn't make a whole video about that, about her showing that Fansly ad to young viewers, where he did a whole video about Aiden Ross showing, Pornhub to his viewers. Now it's very different. Now they're very different situations, but they're both in the wrong. I think both Aiden Ross and Cutie Cinderella, I know she's not the only person involved with having Fansly as a sponsor for their event, they're both in the wrong. I think it's really inappropriate considering everything I just talked about with the whole deepfake situation. Not even a month before, well, a little over a month before that whole situation happening, and then you have Fansly as a sponsor, just kind of seems weird, and then you're advertising your Fansly on there. Whether or not she does new stuff, it doesn't matter. It is still considered an adult content subscription service. And that's really all there is to the situation. Now, I do think it's hilarious that nobody actually went and watched Mukitty's videos, because she has all the... in Charlie's videos, he keeps saying she has the fucking information, she has this or that. He's like, bring it on. And I'm like, she does every single video. That's what I don't understand. Just go watch her videos. I don't care if you don't like the zoomer edits, or you don't like the fucking and if anything, it's the deep fried meme edits that she has, where she doesn't have an air horn blaring, or the MW, the Modern Warfare 2 intervention 360 no scope meme going on and shit, or the from the I'm Not a Rapper video when they're going like, oh shit, like they don't have that going on in the background. But she does have her edits are pretty funny. And I think if it wasn't the fact that he's the target of her videos, he'd probably find her stuff pretty funny. But of course he's got to say, I don't like it. Now, to be fair, Charlie has a huge fan base, and this is probably a nothing burger to him, honestly. But it does seem to be getting under his skin, because he keeps talking about it. He made a whole 40-minute video talking about this situation, and then he wasn't even willing to go back to that one little portion of his stream that he did at the Streamer Awards to find this clip. I find that interesting, because he's going to be proven wrong. But that's all you got to say. You're like, you know what? I was wrong. I misremembered what happened that night. I did go back and look at the stream. Here's the clip. I just laughed it off. That's all you got to say. I mean, I'm surprised that Charlie, of all people on this platform, isn't willing to do that. Even Mukitty had it. If he just watched her video, she has the whole clip from that moment when the Fansly ad pops up on the streamer. I think it's weird that he isn't... Usually he'd be the one to be like, oh, I was wrong. You know what? I misremembered what happened that night, and I kind of just rolled with it. I went and watched Mukitty's videos. Like, he could literally end this whole thing by just doing that, but he's for some reason not willing to do that, which I don't understand, because from my interpretation, he seems like that's the kind of guy that he is, that he would be willing to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you got any comments, leave them down below. I will link the Mukitty video and her channel. I'll have hopefully some cards around here somewhere. I think you have to have YouTube Premium or something to be able to get like cards during your video, which is unfortunate, but I'll try to maybe edit some stuff in to really help advertise her channel and her videos because a lot of people are reacting to Charlie's stuff and not to hers. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching.